All right, so now we're going to move on to widgets with parameters. Okay, so let's just say we wanted to create a no-code adjustment here. And we wanted to say we want to be able to adjust certain things. Let's just say the number to pull, or the movie release date ascending or descending. We wanted to make that so that the user could do that and change these parameters anytime that they wanted to. Okay. And many others. We can come here to the back end. So I am once again going to kind of just throw away my listing and being so mean to my listing. And go to content types, and I'm going to create a new widget content type. And I'm going to call this movie listing widget content type. Use the system workflow, that's fine. Okay, now whenever you create a content type of type widget, which is the way all our widgets are created, there's nothing hidden, there's no code concealed, it's created exactly this way. And whenever we created them for you, we just were creative on, what on the demo might people want to see? YouTube, okay, let's start writing it, and we wrote it right here so that you can access every single one of our widgets. Okay. So what do I want to parameterize about my movie listing? I'm going to have to add some fields if I want to do. I'm going to be very brief and just simple, and I'm going to add a sort parameter and a page and total number of content to pull, right, on each page. So I will add a text box here, which is I'll just call it total movies per page, and I can put a little hint here. Number of movies to display per page, and I would want to store that as a whole number. Required use of searchable, show in the list, sure, not unique for sure. So I just added that movies per page. We'll stick that down at the bottom here. And I want to add a select box, maybe, to show sort by. Just text, that's fine. And then I want to take my value and I could add tons of these, but movies.release date descending, so I'll put in ascending. And then I'll put the whole thing here. Titles descending. And then I'm just going to take that descending out of the top one, so it does do ascending. And I can keep going on and on. I'll say it's required, it's user searchable, show and list, sure. And I'll save those two parameters. And I could keep adding more and more parameters, just like, every number on a lottery ticket gives me another, tons of permutations of the types of listings I can create with this. Now I've got a sort by velocity variable, and I've got a movies per page velocity variable. So now I need to take my code, and just so I don't mess up my movie listing, I'm going to copy and new, paste, and I'll change my fonts again and increase it. Okay, so now I have parameters for this. So that is going to be my value sort by movies per page. Here I can just go ahead and put sort by and movies per page. Okay. And that's it. Yeah. Let's see if I have to integer my sort, my movies per page. Not sure how it's going to be read as text or not, but let's see. So now I just put inside my widget code. I can just paste or I can .parse. I'm just going to paste for convenience what I just did and save. Widget usage, just so I could tell users how to use this widget to create their own movie listings. If I needed to pre-execute something, JavaScript or whatever, I don't know, I could pre-execute something before it gets to that code field. And then the widget title, that's just for each user to title their widgets whatever they want to say how they're sorting their movies. So that's it. Done. And if I now come here to my site browser and my movie listing, I might need one more little tweak to my widget. Let's see. So I've got my movie widget, so there it is right at the top, movie listing, right? So I want to create a new movie listing. Here's my sort by, title ascending or title descending. I'll choose ascending this time. And the movies per page, let's say I only want one movie per page. And I will say, okay, and then I'll give that a shot. Save, and it's not pulling because I have a feeling it doesn't like one of these. So let's go ahead and spit out right at the top. Let's go ahead and set movies per page. Or no, that's a total. Yeah, movies per page. And do that. And my sort by. Okay. Sort. Okay. So then I would just have to paste that into my widget code field. Making sure I don't have anything weird at the bottom. Okay, now that that's saved, then refresh my page. Okay. And I have a feeling it's still reading this as text after it spits out on the page. Okay. So let me set total movies equals math movies per page, and that. And then down here, we'll do total movies instead. Sort by. And come here. Still does not like my widget. All right. Easiest way to check everything out here would be to just simply grab that. And let's just show that in our widget. Movie listing widget, widget code, save, and go back to our page. Let's see what our return is here. It's funny, that's not what at all what is in my widget code. So let me see. Let me flush caches. Relisting. Widget code. Save. Maintenance. Flush all my caches. And let's go back to my movie listing page. There we go. It was just giving me a cache result. Okay, so movies per page. Actually, that's supposed to be total number of movies. It's the page number. Movies per page. Yeah, that's fine. 1. And let's make sure that we're getting total movies. So who knows? Maybe that cache was actually giving me a false negative there. Let's put this under here. So that certainly seems okay. And my sort by is movies.release date. That was ascending, that's fine. I think it was my cache. So after I save this, now I'm going to go to System, Maintenance. Now I could just flush the a specific cache, or I could reindex just that one content line. But I'm just going to go ahead and flush that. And you can reindex just, you know, I could reindex just my movie listing, you know, content type. But I think it's just a flush, refresh, and there we go. It was working before. It was just the cache was messing me up. Okay, and I might have a page cache of 15 seconds on this page as well. All right, so my widget with parameters is allowing me to go ahead and set that. So I should be able to actually edit my widget and say I want to show more than one movie per page. I want to set 3 and save and publish and then move away. And now I've got 3 and no next. Because there is no next page, I can open it up again and I can change my movie listing to 2. And then I want to actually change it to descending instead of, then I'd have to change my title, obviously, to match whatever I'm sorting by if I was a good, conscientious, no-code widget maker. And now it's sorting descending by title, the movie titles, and I've still got my next page. Now, I think I removed from this the page number. Don't know if I broke my page. No, it's actually still working. Okay, on that one. Okay. So any questions about widgets with parameters and creating no-code widget listings? Obviously, for this for yourself, it can actually be a convenience widget. So if you had to create, let's just say you had to create a whole bunch of calendars for different school clubs at a university or something like that, and you're doing an events listing, an events calendar for every one of the clubs, all you're really doing is changing the club name so that that filters all of the events that have to do with that club, or maybe that would supply a relationship or something like that. Let's just say there was 70 different clubs. So I would instantly create a widget content type. The only thing that would change really would be which club I'm selecting, make a selector for the club. And now I'd be able to go to each page and then, you know, or even better, I'd be able to tell somebody else to go do it. You know, look, I did all the code. All you gotta do is select the club, and they don't have to touch my code to be able to deploy it. They just open it up, and, you know, make a selection. They got a new listing, right? How to change these parameters for the widget is a question. How to change these parameters for the widget? You know, these parameters right here, we have set on the content type, right? So this movie listing content type, they're right here, sort by and movies per page. So I could add more. I could, you know, change that to another field. Anytime that I make a new field, it gives me a velocity variable, and my widget code can use the setting of that variable. So if I wanted to change my sort right now immediately, I can step into my sort and add more parameters. So let's say in addition to movies.release date descending, and this was actually, I was sorting by date ascending and date. And then I could also do, as a choice, I'll copy these two and I'll actually add title. And then I would have to do, if it was title ascending, that'd be movies.title, right? That's the field on the movie content type. And movies.title descending, right? Save. And now I go back to my, I'm going to, just in case, I'm going to go to maintenance and flush my caches. I think I got a page cache on that page that I created. Movie listing. And now I just open up that same widget, and now I've got 4 choices, and I can do title ascending, and now it should be title ascending on my page. And on the first page, Reddit, yeah, because the last one's The Incredibles, so it is title ascending. And now if I wanted to test the title descending, I go to my previous page. And maybe it'd be better if I looked at all 3. So let me do all 3 if I want to see my title descending. Lock for editing, save and publish. And then now I've got my titles descending, starting with T, then R, then L, right? I want to go ahead and do that reverse, title ascending, lock for editing, save and publish. And now I've got them ascending, L, then R, then T, right? I somehow took my comma out. How did I do that? If for each dot has next, then end. Looks good to me. And that's in my categories. Yeah. Looks fine to me. So I'd have to go back to my widget code. Click save. And go to my page, my movie listing, and there we go. Yeah. Okay. Okay, how would I create my page how would I create my page as a single app using a VTL single page app? You could do everything that you wanted to. So are you meaning if I wanted the entire header and footer and everything like that into a single page? Now, are you talking about like React or Angular, or are you talking about here in the presentation layer? Oh, okay. So then you would not use any of these tools here. You would go ahead and call them via the REST API. So let's say you wanted to pull these guys, by release date, right? And we have, luckily, here in our content search manager, show query. So I want to pull this, and it has the REST API call for you, right there. So this is, instead of copying this in velocity, or well, you got the Lucene query, that actually is part of your REST API call. We can just call it this way. So there you are. There's your API content render, and there's all of the fields that you can then display to your, via your REST app. Then your React app would just have to be able to ingest the JSON or the XML, because we have both there, right? So, and if you look in the URL, here, API content render, type, JSON, and here's the query, and only thing it's got is, percentage signs with the spaces, but it's exactly what we were looking at. It's even got the movies.release date. We know that's ascending, So yeah, everything you can do there, as long as you can handle the query and the URL, you can go ahead and do that in your React app. And we've already got the examples right there in the content search manager. we have in our documentation all of the different sets and puts and everything like that. So if we look here at, well, I'd have to go to documentation, not search my code share. REST. Here's a REST API. And if you want to look at all the REST API endpoints, it breaks it down. This is a really good doc, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that on to you. Passing that to everybody in the chat. And so if we wanted to look at like the content resource API, I just clicked on one of those in the list. So then you can see what you can get, you can put, you can post, you know, exactly the format. You want to put something inside of a workflow and inject it. You want to, you know, read from a workflow. You want to get. It's got all of the different methodologies you would use with your React app. Right. So just look over that. And then the query methodology, the only thing you have to do is make it URL safe. And that's it. Take your spaces out and put, you know, the percent signs in them, etc. But right there in the Content Search Manager gives you an example how to query anything. You want to query it with, you know, you want to query, well, I'd have to get something, but you want to query it with a category? Sure. So what, let's see. That gives us only two. So we go ahead and we go show query. I want to see my JSON call. I just copy that and I can paste it into any URL, right? I can open up a totally new browser here, or an incognito window, I guess. Paste that right in and boom. You know, as long as my content's not permission hidden, you know, if it's CMS anonymous, then that's fine. Right. That is it. Okay, so, and that is a perfect spot. Thank you for asking that question. And all of our widgets are done exactly this way. So no matter what widget you're looking at, you know, if we wanted to do a movie review here, so I'll look at movie listing, and I'll say maybe somewhere underneath I want, or maybe I click on the detail and then I want a movie review or something. I don't have any cast for him. So maybe I think The Incredibles I have cast, yeah. So let's say I want to do a little movie review right underneath or right above The Incredibles here. So I can go ahead and add widget. And whenever you select, I will create a new YouTube widget. All of these right here are no different than what I just created. And they were created in exactly the same way. There's no hidden code that is part of our dotCMS. You know, you have to go to the server to find her, and it's all right here. You know, and you look at any of those, we just thought, what kind of cool stuff can we show you? So this is our, you know, just got code inside of the widget code field. That's it, you know. And so I want to find The Incredibles. So anything that we did, you can do better, you know. And so I'll put The Incredibles movie review and search. And there we go. Got a movie review here. It automatically takes that, uses custom field to automatically set the rest of the fields. I save and publish. And now I've got a movie review. I can go ahead and drag it up to the top, you know, and now I can play my movie review. Wow, that was loud. And if this widget can be moved over here, I can move it over here and make it real tiny too. Or just drag it back over here, and you know, it's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And that's just, you know, you go right into that content type. You look at it. The only thing we've done is we kind of parsed the files, but it's right in the application folder, VTL widgets, the, you know, YouTube, there it is. You want to change it, manipulate it, make it your own, look and see how what JavaScript is and HTML we wrote, just go there and look at the file, right?